Hey everyone, this is David. Okay, we're just here for a quick hit. Listen, I feel for some crazy reason, and am I just imagining this? There was more that happened this week in the Bravoverse than like a lot of other weeks. Am I just crazy in thinking that, first of all, and we're not going to have time to talk about it all here today. So, but I mean, Portia's going back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then Simon's citizenship is not granted. And now there's a divorce that is pending. It's like, man, planned out or just coincidence. Well played, Miss Portia. Well played. You get a spinoff. You leave the show, you get a spinoff, you marry the guy for all the money, you travel the world, you have the money. And now he has citizenship problems, and you're getting a divorce, and you're going back to the show, and it's going to be a storyline. I mean, Miss Guobadia, well played. But I don't know if we have time to talk about that. We'll see if we have time to talk about Kyle. Now she's implying in the finale that Mauricio cheated, that he did something that, she can't get over, that's broken the trust. And I mean, are we having a three-part reunion where we're not going to find out what that is? Because that's just like bullshit, Kyle Richards. And now Dorit is releasing the text messages. If we have time, we'll talk about that. We have a lot to get to, but just a quick hit. I want to just focus. Everyone's been asking me for my opinions on, I'm sorry, I'm just waking up. My opinions on the whole Brandi Andy thing. So look, Brandi is accusing Andy of sexual harassment. And Brian Friedman and Mark Garagos, the same attorneys that are handling Bethany's reality reckoning. We were just saying, where is the reality reckoning? I guess we know where it is. Here it is through Brandi. So Brandi is claiming that Andy was inebriated, that there is a video, which let's face it, they have the video where they would never reference this video, that there's a video where he sent to her and he talked about his intention to sleep with another Bravo star, and he'd be thinking about her while he was going to sleep with another Bravo star, and he wanted her to watch via FaceTime. Okay, well there we go. That's always just another typical day at work, right, you guys? So anyway, Brandy's lawyers, Garagos and Freeman, have written this letter saying, NBC Universal, Shed Media, and Shed Media's parent company, Warner Brothers, the same people, by the way, who Caroline Manzo sued, that, hey, attention to all three of those. Brandi felt trapped by Andy. She felt disgusted. This was an inequity of power. She wanted to keep her job. She didn't know what to do. So that's where this letter starts. She's not suing anybody at this point. She's not being sued. Caroline is not suing her. She's suing all these other people. So Andy has responded saying that it was a joke. It was a joke. The video, it was Kate Chastain. The video shows Kate Chastain and I very clearly joking to Brandi. It was absolutely meant in jest. And Brandy's response clearly was that she was not, basically that her response communicated that she was in on the joke. That said, it was totally inappropriate, and I apologize. Now, this statement didn't just come out of nowhere. It's a very casual statement, which I'm sure that was the plan. This statement was definitely run by NBC and Universal and everybody. It wasn't just issued. Andy might have written it, but it went up the chain. There you go. So that's his response. It's a little casual, for me. Right? It's a little casual, but isn't that the point? Like, oh, we have nothing to worry about. So that's his response. And, again, Manzo has not sued Brandi. The lawsuit referred to Brandi. Brandi has not sued anybody. The letter is implying that somebody will be sued. The lawyers referred to Matt Lauer. They likened Andy to Matt Lauer, which is a good strategy. They say that there's an inequity of power. Now, Andy's statement happened, and now the lawyers have responded. And they say any boss that's inebriated, encouraging an employee to watch him have sex with another employee constitutes sexual harassment, plain and simple, under the definition of sexual harassment. Now, we're not into the reaction. We're not into what's going to happen here, but I do agree with the lawyers. Again, I keep going back to the same example. If you are listening to this and you're an accountant or you're a marketing person, if you're going into an office every day and you are sitting there and you're working in a corporate setting and your boss sent you a video saying, I'm going to have sex tonight and I want you to watch. Yeah, sexual harassment. So I think the lawyer's response is I agree with that part of this. I absolutely do. And they say that's the definition of sexual harassment, even one concocted by NBC, like even a definition, that even like the broadest of definition, which NBC is using, that's sexual harassment. I agree with them. I think they're really good too, you know? So that's their response. They then go on. I mean, I'm sorry. I just hear Bethany behind this whole thing. Like, they want to know why Andy Cohen is getting a pass. They call for Andy's termination. They say in their response to Andy's apology, Andy is not above the law. They call his apology a fake apology. They say, hey, NBC, you've given this guy too much power. He produces and stars in his own vehicles. So he's producing them and he's putting himself in them. Watch what happens. He's putting himself in them, the reunions. That's too much power. Hey, guys. They then refer to BravoCon and they say you're having this big convention, which is financially just making a ton of money that he's hosting. They say, listen, NBC, we understand Andy's too big to fail. You're not going to do anything. And they say that Andy's part of the cover up. You're covering this up and step in and do something to Andy Cohen because your legacy depends on it. Now, I mean, they sound like this isn't just like they're going after Andy. So I don't know. Did Andy do anything to these two lawyers? I doubt it. Are they doing it for clout? Are they clout chasing? Or, I mean, is this all just a money play and they just want to like squeeze Mr. Code until somehow NBC settles? Do they really care what happens to Andy? It sure sounds like it. It sure sounds like it's personal, but is that just a tactic and they just want money for their client, Miss Brandi Glanville? Because I'm assuming this is all being done contingents and whatever they recover for Brandi, they will be getting a third of. And I can tell you if that's the case, they sure as hell want money. So is this personal? Do they really have something against Andy, or do they just want money for their client, Brandi Glanville? It's interesting. It's interesting. The reaction, I heard from a lot of Bravo celebrities. I heard from a lot of housewives. So I think the reaction in my texts and phone calls from the people on Bravo, past and present, that reached out to me just to say, oh, at first it was like, oh my God, can you believe this? And they were like, holy shit. It's kind of the consensus, if I'm taking the temperature amongst Bravo celebrities, the consensus is just kind of like, who cares? Like, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. He apologized. So I think the consensus was, holy shit, to like, all right, that's not going anywhere. We'll see. I mean, these Bravo celebrities are not lawyers. I am a lawyer who hasn't practiced in forever. So what the fuck do I know? I know more than the average person, but I think it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure this is going to turn into anything major. I think, look, of course, there's so many accounts now that are saying, which is a little offensive, is saying like, look at Brandi's past actions and, she's licking this one's face and this and that. Does that matter? I mean, does that really matter? If a woman were taken home by a stranger and the stranger forced themselves on her against her will, Does the fact that she was wearing something sexy and revealing matter? I don't think so. So I'm not so sure that all of Brandy's past actions matter. Was she really scared? And, look, her job depended on it. She has to do what the boss man said. Sure, that's going to be the argument. I don't know where this goes from here. It really could be a whole nothing burger, honestly. But I'm not convinced that it's not a nothing burger. I think I, look, if your boss does this type of stuff, yeah, on its face, I think it's inappropriate. I don't know. I don't think NBC is going to turn around and fire Andy. He made a statement. I think, is anyone else going to come out now? I mean, is there anyone else? I don't know. So I think it's like this in between state to me of like, just like when we talked about like on Patreon, Louis Rielias and Bo Dietl were sued, and everyone's like, oh my God. And I'm like, let's wait and see what happens. I feel the same way with this. I mean, there is a video. Look, I think Andy's apology is you're admitting that there was a video, so which you should because they have it. But I don't know. You got to be careful with apologies. You really got to read all the words over carefully because things could be used against you. So I don't know. Developing story, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like down the middle, to be honest with you. I mean, Dorit and Kyle just call it. All right, guys, we'll stay on for a few minutes. Dorit and Kyle just fucking call it. Just call it. Right? Um, just call it. Let me see here. I'm trying to find Dorit's actual text that Kyle, the leaked text that Kyle. So Kyle, we all know Dorit says, I felt like I was threatened the night before. This is Kyle's text to Dorit, which Dorit has released. Oh God. Why even bother having friends on this type of show, right? I mean, just is what it is. You're not going to be friends with these people. You have a job to do. I mean, Dorit and LVP have broken up. LVP and Kyle have broken up. Now Dorit and Kyle are about to break up. Just call it. Apparently, Kyle said, "Hi, I've been meaning to reach out because I know we are in a weird." This comes the night before the night before the reunion. We're in a weird place and it really bothers me. And it's not even on the show. I wanted to explain where I am at and why I've been distant, but my hands were tied. What did Andy tell you not to speak to anyone? Of course, some interview comments hurt my feelings and created more issues for me, but I am used to that and could get past it in time. I also reminded myself that you didn't know what I was going through with Mo at the time for most of these remarks. But then I heard some things that you said about me off camera that hurt me deeply. And I wasn't even able to say what I heard or from who. So Dorita's been talking about Kyle off camera. Kyle cannot say from who. It was one of those things where I wish I just didn't know it all because I wasn't able to share. And yet I was left hurt and couldn't even try to work through it with you. And I know you will be frustrated and want to know what and who said it, but I can't. Well, I mean, I hate this type of passive aggressive bullshit, Kyle. It's as frustrating to me as it will be to you. Well, this is such a passive aggressive text. Trust me, I would read this and I would be like, fuck you. Either tell me who said what or fuck off. Honestly, if I got this text, that'd be my reaction. You're telling me you're hurt by things I said, but you can't tell me what they are or who said them. They're off air. And so you're mad at me for things that I said and someone told you that I said, but you won't tell me who told you or what I said. I literally would be like, go fuck yourself. It's as frustrating to me as it will be to you. Trust me, I have gone through such a hard time, Dorit. Um, I've been in so much pain and I can't tell you. Never have I felt so low, and I know you are also going through a hard time. I guess with PK. Normally, I would have reached out to check on you, but I was hurt and very depressed. I spent 30 years with Mo, married 28. I have no idea how to live without him or how to navigate. Well, you better find out soon, Kyle, or how to navigate through life on my own because I have so much on my plate for tomorrow, and I know you do too. I love you, PK, and your kids so much. I've been thinking about you a lot and hoping you aren't struggling too much. Tell us what's going on with PK, Dorit. Come on. I don't want to lose someone else in my life over a TV show. Is that real? And I have nothing against Kyle. Really, Kyle? I mean, seriously. You lost Kathy, she's back. You lost Kim, she's back. You lost LVP. You lost Lisa Rinna. You lost them all. So do you really not want to, because I think you'll do anything for the show. No offense. I just think you'll do anything for the show, which is okay. Get your bag. I don't want to lose someone else in my life over a TV show. They don't even know where we are. They don't even know we are going through a hard time. So I don't see the need to bring it up there. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming she means her and Dorit. Like, don't bring this up that we're having a hard time. I should have said something sooner. Basically, she's saying to Dorit, don't bring up the fact that you and I are having problems in our friendship. I should have said something sooner, but I honestly haven't been strong enough. Our relationships and you are more important to me than RHOBH. And I don't feel like bringing it for the at our, basically don't bring up the fact that we're having problems, Dorit, especially when we have enough battles to handle as it is. Anyway, I would like to sit down and talk after we get through tomorrow. Don't bring it up on camera, Dorit. You and I are having problems, but let's sit down and talk after. Maybe have lunch or dinner when you can. If you want to talk before tomorrow, I am around. I would give anything not to go and have to do this. Well, you have to go to the reunion. It's so toxic. Wait, I don't know how much longer I can do this show. It's so toxic, it creates so much anxiety for me. I find that to be a bold-faced lie. You're not quitting the show. It does create anxiety, but I feel that sentence to me is trying to play Dorit and say, don't bring up the fact that you and I are having problems, right? Because we don't know that. That wasn't on the season, Dorit. And yes, little things. Oh, you're spending time with Morgan, do. But it seems like it's a lot bigger than that. They haven't spoken, and she's basically saying to Dorit, don't bring it up on camera because nobody in production or at RHOBH or Crystal or Erica or whoever knows that we're going through a problem. So just keep it between us and we can talk about it and deal with it off air because, like, that's how it works, right? Like, why we have enough problems, me and Sutton and this one and that one, like, why would we bring this up on air is basically what she's saying. It seems like Dorit showed up at the reunion, went right into Erica and said, I was threatened and told to keep quiet. So it's going to be a great reunion. I don't buy the fact that Kyle is quitting Beverly Hills and shit. I mean, yeah, sure. You don't know how much longer you could do the show. Well, find it in yourself because you're not quitting. Let's just be reasonable. So I think that was like a manipulation to Dorit of like, oh my God, like we're gonna lose Kyle Richards on our show. And if you're a good housewife, you don't want to lose someone, whether you're friends with them or not, when it's Kyle Richards, because like that helps make the show. So I find that line manipulative. I can't believe Dorit is releasing these voicemails. And we're going to do a whole show with Sarah Fraser this week about this deep dive and the reunion. This was just a quick hit to get you through Sunday. I love you all. What do you think about all of this? We're doing 2 shows like this a week now, guys. So don't forget to check out our afternoons twice a week. Love you all. Happy Sunday. Bye.